On March 25th, 2017, a 25-year-old young man named Akbar Salubiro went to work out in the palm fields on his island of Sulawesi in Indonesia. He was a farmer. This is what he did for a living. Every morning he would go out into these fields by himself and harvest palm oil. Well, on this day, again, he was alone. He went out and he started to go to work. We don't know exactly how long he worked for. Everything we do know about this initial encounter, we know from what they discovered later. He was alone out there, as I said, working, and at some point, something massive started to creep up behind him, and he certainly would not have known this was the case. This thing was able to get right up to him, close enough to where it was able to lurch out at him, and it bit him on the back with its 6 rows of 100 curved teeth. And when one of these things bites you, it is almost impossible to break away from because, again, it is a massive animal weighing hundreds of pounds. It's got those 100 curved teeth. They're curved backwards, so when it grabs you, you can't really pull away from it, and they are massively powerful. So when this thing grabbed Akbar by the back, there was almost no way that he would have been able to get it off him and get away from this thing. Well, that evening, when Akbar did not return to his home, his wife Manu obviously became very concerned. He had never done that before. She knew something was wrong, so she alerted the people in her village, and they went out looking for him. That night, they did not find any sign of Akbar. They didn't know exactly where he was out in these palm fields, but first night, they didn't find anything. Next day, they did not find anything, but the day after that, on the 27th, they came across a very, very disturbing scene. What they saw first was just one of Akbar's boots, one of his shoes, lying next to one of these palm trees. Next to that, there was some palm fruit that he had apparently harvested, and then there was his little cutting device that he would have used to harvest that fruit or that oil. And after that, it didn't take them very long searching around the nearby area to come upon something that they immediately knew when they saw what this thing was and what it looked like. They immediately knew what had happened to Akbar because what they came upon was a 23-foot-long reticulated python, and they could clearly see the outline of a human body inside of this snake. So all these guys, and this is on video, all these guys, they come up, they get this snake who was just sitting there basically digesting its food, and they cut this thing's stomach open, and of course inside there was Akbar's intact body. And we only know that this thing crept up behind him and grabbed him by the back because, again, he was completely intact, and they could see the bite wound on his back where this thing had grabbed him. So it came up behind him, it grabbed him by the back. He probably tried to fight it off for however long, but obviously wasn't able to. And then this thing, while it held him by the back, would have coiled its 23-foot-long, hundreds of pounds body around Akbar's body, and it eventually would just suffocate him. And when Akbar would have lost consciousness, the snake would have released him as they normally do, and then it would have proceeded to just swallow him entirely whole. I believe this was one of the first, if not the first, confirmed case of a reticulated python eating an adult human in Indonesia. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's the first one. There was also a woman that it happened to shortly after this. I've done that story before, but as far as I know, this is the first adult that was ever officially confirmed killed and eaten by a python in Indonesia.